What you see today for this officer is the culmination of all the contributions made by Trinidad and Tobago. And more importantly, yes, there was in fact a donor to this officer, but that was one donor of many donors that would have contributed to what was happening. A lot of donors came on and gave us items to help police officers, not only to help police officers, but to also get them back on their feet. So for me, as an association and part of the wider campaign of the I Support Our Service campaign, it's an important and integral part for us because we want to make that social connection with corporate Trinidad and Tobago and move forward as a country and make this country a better place. I am now reassured that this country is a better place based on what I have seen today. We are trying to, in fact, impact on each of their lives. I'm quite certain that before the close of the year, every single officer would be in a better position than they were originally in after the floods.
Frontline on Talk City 91.1 FM, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to noon with me, Ria Roop Chansing, an informative and educational show that discusses a variety of topics, from social issues to the law, from education to religion, culture, health, beauty and your well-being. And you also have a chance to voice your opinion in Frontline's open forum. Frontline, 8 a.m. to noon every Monday to Friday with me, Ria Roop Chansing, on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM, on Facebook at TTT Live Online, and we are also live on YouTube at TTT Live Online, so you can just go and search and you can have some fun with us this Tuesday morning. Carrie alongside me. Good morning, Carrie.
Hey, good morning, Rishi.
How are you today, sir?
Today I'm good. I'm not as tired as yesterday, although I didn't look it apparently, but today I'm great. And yourself?
And you had a good evening yesterday?
Yes, I had a nice and quiet evening. Watched some movies, spent some
Who did you watch movies
time with the significant other.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the significant other. In case everybody who've been messaging me, Carrie has a significant other. Carrie, it is so annoying. Carrie,
well, that they message you about me.
Yes, yes. And it's somewhat hurtful, but that's okay. Today, Carrie, is Purple Day.
Right. Today
and you don't have one purple.
I do not, because I do not own purple things. Just as I don't own pink things.
You don't.
Yes.
Own
I need to
purple
fix
things.
that.
Well, Purple Day is the International Day for Epilepsy and falls on the 26th of March every year. Now, this day, Purple Day, was created back in 2008 by a young girl called Cassidy Megan. She had epilepsy and wanted to raise awareness for it, and that is how the day started on March 26th. And this morning we'll be having a couple of segments to inform people about epilepsy and what that really is, and some things that people can look out for and how they can help others who have it.
Right, yeah,
so that is something to look forward to this morning. But what has been trending overnight, Carrie, is fake news. The term fake news again comes up, and this time it is because somebody decided to go on social media and say that the government has sold Paria fuel trading. And that caused the Minister of Communications, Stuart Young, to issue a statement saying that that is not so and that is fake news. And they kept on going, blaming the UNC saying that the PNM should, try and focus on what is important and stop blaming the UNC for everything. But here's what the concern is from many people, according to social media. Remember Petrotrin, when they were going to close down the refinery, they said that it was just the refinery and not the entire company.
Right. And
then later on,
closed the entire company.
The entire company was shut down. So, with Paria fuel trading, this is what is happening. You had Wilfred Espinay coming out and saying that the RFPs have been sent out and they are looking to sell Paria fuel trading. Then the Minister of Energy came out and said that no, they're not going to do that. They're not looking to sell the company. And then, not too long after, the Prime Minister said, yes, they're going to sell it to the right bidder. So people out there are confused. What is really happening? So I mean, it's not right to spread fake news, but government, I think, needs to give more accurate information, let people know the information.
Clarify
exactly.
the entire situation.
Because you don't want people to speculate. And in a country like ours, hashtag Trinidad and Tobago is not a real place. You don't want people to speculate too much.
Yeah, you don't want that because it sets up for a lot of unrest and, a lot of tension in the country. And, when people don't know the state of certain things, it is a little bit worrying. So we need to have clear and concise information.
And hopefully now a proper statement is made to inform people of what is going on. Also, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service yesterday evening issued a statement urging internet users to desist from online harassment. But did you know that a person can be charged under the Summary Offences Act for harassment on social media?
No, I did not know that was actually something that could be pursued.
Yeah, so if you harass somebody, Carrie, you can be charged, fined. You can be fined upon conviction of $2,000 and to imprisonment for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so try not to harass anybody. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is asking people not to do that. And just to let people know, harassment of a person includes alarming the person or causing the person distress by engaging in a course of conduct such as following or making visual recordings of, stopping or accosting a person. So you can't accost a person. You can't just go and make a video of somebody just like that. You know how there are some people who you see you walking on the road and they videotaping you and thing?
Right.
That can constitute harassment.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. Making contact with the person, whether by gesture, directly, verbally, by telephone, computer, post, or in any other way.
Well, look at that. Something as simple as recording someone or doing a post that is against someone. It could land you a hefty fine and maybe even some prison time.
Exactly. So remember to be careful out there and, don't harass anybody. Carrie, I think it's time for us now to check out the traffic update.
All right, let's take a look at what our nation's roadways look like with this traffic update. Right, we'll have to hold off on that traffic update for now, but coming ahead, we have so many things in our program. Rishi mentioned earlier that we are speaking today on the topic of International Day of Epilepsy and Falls. We have two guests in studio already who we are going to speak to in regards to that. Coming up later on as well, we have gospel in studio because we are still observing the season of Lent, so we want to give you a taste of gospel and things within that sphere as well. And now we'll take a look at our traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
And we are on the Beetham right now. As we look at this lane, we are looking at the westbound lane on the Beetham Highway right here. And as we zoom into this area that does not have anything to see, as we hear, the camera is a little bit out of focus, and there we go. Just as we pan across, we get a better view of what is in store for those who are on that road right now. I think we may have to get out of this one right now
and
because
we'll
the camera is a little bit out of focus, but we'll come back later on and give you an update on what the traffic looks like. But just a little glimpse over here, it looks like we're pretty good, but we'll call it a wrap for this traffic update for now.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
All right, so much in our program ahead. Really looking forward to the program today, Rishi. It's always exciting here in studio.
Well, today's Tuesday, and it's normally Unique Not Different, but Shamla Miraj was unable to make it today, so we don't have Unique Not Different, but we will be playing back one of his segments that she would have done before.
Because every single segment she does is like on fire,
Yeah, and so that is something to look forward to. A special good morning to all our viewers on Facebook, TTT Live Online, and on YouTube, TTT Live Online, and our listeners on Talk City 91.1 FM, and also those viewing us on television on TTT. We take a break and come back with a lot more for you. Stay with us.
$1,000. Win the Sandal's Vacation of a Lifetime from the PDFK Group of Company, inclusive of airfare, accommodation, and spending money. Want this to be your getaway vacation? All you gotta do is spend $500 or more at any of our sponsored locations.
Via restaurant, Bright Ideas Home Store, and all facade the Food King Supermarket.
Fill out the entry form and drop it in. You'll be on your way to your dream holiday in no time. Check us out on Facebook for more information. Promotion ends April 23rd.
This promotion is NLCB approved.
On any given day, at any given time,
you can have your say on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Call in, text in, send us an email.
All our shows are fully interactive.
Whether we're talking politics, sports,
current affairs, social issues,
culture, and the arts, stay in the know with our daily news bulletin and breaking news updates.
We're committed to keeping you informed about the world around you.
And yes, we entertain you too with the best Kaiso,
steel pan, and local and regional music. We are your address for talk. Talk City 91.1 FM and TalkCity91FM.com.
Having my seizures, I knew that people were treating me differently. My dad seemed worried all the time, and my friends didn't understand me at all. In fact, I didn't think that anyone understood what I was going through. I didn't know anyone else with epilepsy, and I didn't know who to talk to. I felt like epilepsy made me different to everyone else. I just wanted to be normal like my friends. I was also worried about having seizures at school, all around my friends. I thought that everybody would think that I was weird. One day it all got too much, and I told my dad how I was feeling. He gave me a big hug and told me that I could always talk to him. So we sat down and had a big chat about what was bothering me. It was really good to talk about it. After that I started learning about epilepsy. Like, did you know there are over 60,000 children in the UK like me who have epilepsy? I wasn't as alone as I thought. My mum also spoke to my teacher. She did a special lesson for the whole class, all about epilepsy. We looked at what you can do if someone's having a seizure, and listened to some stories from other children about epilepsy. And finally, I talked to my friends about what was going on. All of them were really nice. They asked me questions about what it is like to have a seizure, and what they could do to help. I was a bit embarrassed at first, but it was okay in the end. Now I know that they understand me a bit better, and they won't think that I'm weird if I have a seizure. In fact, I know they can get help if I need it. Things are much better now. I'm not so worried about having a seizure. I still get upset from time to time, like when I have lots of seizures in 1 week. But I feel less alone now, and I know there are lots of people around me that I can talk to.
Purple Day is today. It falls on March 26th, and it is to raise awareness for epilepsy. I have with me Ms. Dion Batiste, our very own Dion Batiste, and she is going to share her experience with getting seizures. And I also have with me Ms. Nicole Vanderpool, who is the founder and president of the Seizure Awareness Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
And Dion, this is not purple.
It is purple.
probably a different shade of purple, because this is real purple.
There are many different shades.
Okay.
All are real.
Oh, okay. But Dion, on a serious note, we looked at the video a short while ago, and we heard a short experience about suffering from seizures. You?
Not suffering from. Somebody living with seizures.
Someone living with seizures,
yes.
See? So, and one thing that I was reading on the handout that you have is that if you want to help, you need to start by educating yourself and caring. Yeah.
Yes, you have to care enough to educate yourself, because I could identify with a lot of what Anna just said, the little animation video that you guys just shared. In that, when I was first diagnosed, I didn't know anyone else who had seizures, who had epilepsy. And even though my family and the few friends that stuck around, they cared, they couldn't reach me mentally. They couldn't support me emotionally because they didn't understand. And as much as I tried, I couldn't articulate it enough for them to fully grasp what I was going through. And I was fortunate in that her friends were nice, mine weren't. I lost a lot of friends during that period of my life because they didn't get it, and because at that point in time, I myself didn't really grasp the gravity of what I was going through. I couldn't communicate it to them. So yes, I lost a lot of friends. So it was a lot of isolation. I was forced to stop school. I was living on my own. I was forced to return home to my parents' house. That was a little bit of culture shock. So yeah, it's a lot.
But how is it different now for you?
It's different now because I'm a bit more accepting. I took the time to educate myself about my condition, and I found a lot of fulfillment when I founded the Seizure Support Network in 2017. I've come to realize that sharing my story and sharing my experiences, it has empowered me a lot, because I've realized that people are drawing strength from my story. I felt like I was alone, and there are a lot of people who feel that they are alone in this, so now we've formed a bit of a community. We help each other, we support each other where we can.
And things have become a bit easier for you. Yep. And Nicole Vanderpool, you founded the Seizure Awareness Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago. How has that been going for you?
Well, it's been growing leaps and bounds. The community, at first let me say my son is epileptic. So this is the reason why we founded the Seizure Awareness Foundation. So since then, as Dion said, when you reach out, you realize how big the community is. Yes, so we've been reaching a lot of people.
But what has that organization been doing to raise awareness and help people with seizures and epilepsy?
Okay, so the Seizure Awareness Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago, what we do is we go into schools and communities, organizations to teach seizure first aid, so that you will know the correct way to assist somebody who's having a seizure. A lot of people still say put something in their mouth, which is the wrong response. Because,
what do you do?
Right, what do you do? So seizure first aid. First thing you do is, most of the times, seizures that are tonic-clonic, that means convulsive seizures, they require some assistance. All right? We have many, there are over 40 different types of seizures. So those that are tonic-clonic, that person will fall to the ground. So you want to cushion their head. You want to remove any neckties that they might be wearing, or scarves, any glasses that they might be wearing. You want to remove those as well, because if they break, they can damage the eyes, right? You want to cushion the head so that the impact on any hard surfaces will be softened, and you want to stay with them until they're fully reoriented. Do not try to slap them out of it. Do not put anything, no gag, no spoon, no anything whatsoever into the mouth of somebody who's having a tonic-clonic convulsive seizure.
Dion, what was your experience like the first time it happened?
Oh my God, it sending me back. That was in 2008, March 20th. I was in the bank with my mother, and my mother was sitting. I was on the line, and my mother said, somebody came and said, hey, that lady with you? And when she looked over, I was on the ground convulsing and frothing through the mouth. So that was the first time I had a seizure. They took me to Port of Spain General, where I spent 10 days, but I wasn't diagnosed until the end of 2009. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like the experience itself. I mean, for you as a parent, what did you think when it happened with your son?
I was in school with somebody who had epilepsy, so I knew what it was when I saw it. So when I saw it, it was like 1:30 in the morning, and he was having a full-blown tonic-clonic seizure on the bed. So I didn't know, stay calm.
Ooh,
I was in a panic.
You're not supposed to panic.
I know, but this is my first time, right? So usually when you see it, that's your initial response, right? You never really get accustomed to seeing somebody having a tonic-clonic convulsive seizure. However, you learn how to respond over time. Yeah.
And in terms of Trinidad and Tobago, any statistics in terms of the amount of people who may have seizures?
We don't have any confirmed statistics. We can just go with the approximations from the neurologists that see the patients on a day-to-day. So out of that, we have over 40,000 people living in Trinidad and Tobago with some sort of seizure disorder or epilepsy.
And now the Ministry of Health is having an event to commemorate Purple Day, which is today. So tell me about that event.
Okay, it's the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHU as well, and the Seizure Awareness Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago. So we have partnered together to have Epilepsy Awareness Day on a grand scale on the Barlara Promenade today, so that we can reach out to the population to let them know what to do in the event that somebody has a seizure, how to identify seizures in the first place. And we're going to do some screening, some blood pressure testing, vision testing, so that we can reach out. We also have a lot of giveaways. So we are inviting everybody to come on down to the Barlara Promenade and get the information first and foremost, so that you'll know how to assist.
Dion, final question to you is, if people want to get into your organization, how do they do that? How do they reach you?
We're on all social media platforms. You can reach out to us on Facebook, the Seizure Support Network of Trinidad and Tobago. We're also on Instagram, so you can send us a message. We're very responsive, and we're here to help anywhere we can.
All right, thank you very much, Dion Batiste, Nicole Vanderpool, for coming in and chatting with us this morning as we raise awareness for epilepsy in Trinidad and Tobago. It is now time for our unique, different segment. Shamla Maraj, she chats with Laura Eskai, Director of Cause and Effect.
Good job!
This is my...
Hey!
You have the same one and get it.
Good job, son. Wow. Bye. Okay.
Right, so that was Isaiah Eskai, and Laura is an activist and the founder of Cause and Effect. And the purpose of Cause and Effect is to highlight and, push for persons with disability, so later on, in case their parents not there, or eventually their parents won't be there, they would have a stable upbringing. And with that, I want to say good morning. How are you? Okay, your brother, when you go out and people stare, what do you think when you see people staring at your brother? You want me to ask it again? No? You want to answer? No? Laura, when you guys go out, and I'm sure people stare at Isaiah.
Oh, yeah.
What is the reaction of? He also has a bigger sister.
Yeah, he has a younger sister, who's older than Roxy, and she's 9.
Right.
They're both very protective of him,
right.
And so sometimes, for instance, if we're driving and somebody's staring too much, they have both in the past asked, but why are they staring at him? He's just like the rest of us. So why is everyone looking at him like he's so strange? Because it's a very typical experience for them. But for somebody who's not experiencing it, of course, and living with a person with a disability, it's always like a whole new world and something so different, But they're very protective of him.
And that's to show you the pertinency of having persons with disability out in public.
Oh, yeah.
So just how they find it's normal, the public could find it's normal, so they could stop staring. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's say now, presently, something would happen to you or Francis, or you have to just go away. What would happen to Isaiah?
Well, I have this thing I like to say. I like to say that if I'm leaving, I'm taking him with me. And it may sound funny to some, and to some they might think that's kind of creepy.
Right.
But it is a little bit scary. It's scary and it's not scary. I'll tell you why it's not scary. It's not scary because for the last 5 years, what we've been working toward is getting sustainable assisted living communities going.
Right.
We've been invited to be a part of a project. I can't say what that project is right now because it's still unfolding. But we have been invited to be a part of a project that deals with sustainable living. Cause and Effect on its own is currently working on setting up a sustainable for-profit business that will create employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. And so we see that model as something that is extremely necessary, not just for the NGO of itself to continue its work, which is awareness and education, as you're aware, but to help, as I said, create employment opportunities, create an ecosystem of support for persons with disabilities who are more independent and are able to work and create support, and in turn, create support systems in the long term for children like Isaiah who need to live in a community. If I were to die, or if Frances was to die, not a word she likes, sorry.
Yes.
To create an entire ecosystem of support for children like Isaiah, so that, you know, if we were to die, we would die knowing that he'll be taken care of, he'll be treated with dignity and respect, and he will be loved. You know, so be a community, which is different than saying place a child in an institution. It's a completely different
because
thing.
I remember it's only people feel that you have a preconceived notion that because I have a disability, I tend to be aware of everything that's going on in the disabled community, which I'm not. And in reality, I try to live just like anyone else.
Exactly.
You know, be incorporated just like anyone else.
Exactly.
One day, it's only 2010, I found out the severity in which a disability could be. And I was totally in shock. And later on, I asked this question. I said to this person, okay, he has a young man, he has a severe disability. His mother died. His father takes fully care of him. He cannot verbally talk, but he's aware. Never gone to school, but he knows things. And I asked their friend, I said, what if his father died? His response was, let's hope he dies first, because he would suffer. And that struck me, because I educated myself, and I am still fearful of my future. So you can imagine persons who has a severe disability, you know. And that being said, what would you like to see from the community and society that will enhance or further, you know, catapult the development within the disabled community?
What we've been working toward actively is highlighting the issues that persons with disabilities and their families face in order to bring about awareness and education, because there's a lot of misinformation, misconceptions about persons with disabilities and what that means. And it's a broad topic, it's a deep topic. And so what we would like to see, basically, I would say in essence, is a society where there's integration on a meaningful level. It's not just surface level. This is not about charity. It's not about feeling sorry for anybody. It's about recognizing that Shamla is a human being. My son Isaiah is a human being. They have different needs that need to be met. And we as a society have to work together to meet those needs of those of persons with disabilities.
Right.
It is now time for news now on TTT. The Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association is calling on the Ministry of Education to pay supervisors their motor vehicle upkeep and travelling allowances, which has not been paid since September. Tutor says failure to do so may impinge on their ability to perform the administrative functions which they are usually tasked with for the 2019 SCA exams. The Opposition United National Congress is denying it had anything to do with the social media posts that the Paria Fuel Trading Company was sold. The party's public relations officer, Anita Haynes, says it was government which created a chaotic message over whether Paria Fuel Trading Company is to be sold or not. And that was news now on TTT. We take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Reach further when you advertise with TTT, Suite 100, Next 99.1, and at Talk City 91.1 FM. Whether it's television, radio, or social media, our stations belong to the only broadcast network with 100% coverage across Trinidad and Tobago. That's a fact. From Port of Spain to Point Fortin, Crown Point to Charlottesville, every household in TNT can easily access our signal. TTT remains the only broadcaster with live capability from multiple locations in the country, making us the most dependable source of information for events of national importance. Find us on any smart device at TTT Live Online. Are you ready to reach further with your advertising? Contact our sales team now. Call us at 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
Every weekday from 4 to 7 p.m., tune in to Straight Talk with me, Jude, as I tackle the tough issues affecting our society head on. You know how we like to get a bit politically correct when it comes to things like race, religion, sexuality, the touchy topics. So let's get some honest, straightforward, and rational discussion going so we can find some common ground on the issues that divide us the most. Straight Talk right here on Talk City 91.1 FM every weekday from 4 to 7 p.m.
Whether you are on the road or at the beach, preserve our beautiful nation of which we are proud by properly disposing of your waste. Because environmental pride is national pride.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Now Morning Show on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM and on Facebook at TTT Live Online, and we're also live on YouTube. You just have to go and search for TTT Live Online. Now we're going to talk a little bit about caring for the elderly. It's an important conversation which I think we need to have because we need to take care of the elderly. It's simple as that. I have with me Ms. Caroline Ruiz, who is the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Residential Care Association, and Mr. Nigel Walcott, who is in charge of reviewing the operational standards at TTRCA. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
So I want to start with you, Caroline, as the president of this association. It is geared towards doing what?
We want to get out there to the public to let them know that there are good homes in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to let them know that we want all homeowners under the umbrella of the association. Even though they may not be compliant, we want them to come in and let us know so that we can work with them to be able to get all homes compliant. But not only in compliance, but also in the care that they give.
When you say compliant, what do you mean?
Compliant?
Yeah.
Okay, the home has to be up at a certain standard. And I think Nigel will be better able to answer.
Well, in Trinidad and Tobago, as you know, we would have the acts that govern the Home to Private Hospitals Act, and soon to come on stream, the Home for Older Persons Act.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Compliance basically means coming online with those acts and keeping the standards that are set by those legal entities.
Now, recently there were some claims that older people are not being treated very good or getting very good care at these homes. You, as the president of the TTRCA, what do you say about that, and how do you think that, if that is the case, we address it?
I don't think that's the truth, because there are many homes that give great care. I think at the JSC committee last week, TTPS mentioned that there was minimal coming out of homes for the elderly. However, most of them was coming out from residential homes, right? In saying that, I think that the situation that took place in Arima created a stir, and all of us are being painted with the same brush because I'm also a homeowner.
Right.
And that is not the care I give, or that's not the care many of the homeowners give.
So, what exactly is expected from these homes?
Well, what is expected is that when we receive these people, we're supposed to have them a home away from home. So they're supposed to be taken care of. However, the Ministry of Health, their requirements were a bit much for us as homeowners because they have us under the Hospital Act, which requires a lot more. We are not hospitals, we are homes. So we want to give them the loving, caring feeling that they're supposed to get, along with, nurturing them with their meds and whatever. But we are not homes that don't do what we're supposed to do where our patients or clients are concerned.
And Nigel, he's in charge of reviewing the operational standards. When you go there, what do you look for?
All right, when you go to a home, you look for a number of different things. You look to see if the home has policies that guides how the home behaves. You look to see the administrative functions in the home, that it's well properly managed. You look to see the level of care and attention that is given to the seniors in that home. You look to see the level of safety that is at that home. Those are the type of things that you basically look for to make sure that that home is functioning properly and that the residents there, and the word is residents, not patients, are getting the care that they deserve.
And there are 115 homeowners registered with your association at this time. Yes, that is correct.
At this time.
How do you go about ensuring that all of the homes under your watch are up to standard?
That is why we brought in Nigel Walcott on the team with us, so that we can get a little insight of the homes. That process has begun, so we are trying to get more of the homeowners in so that we can send him out on the field, so that we'll have a little, because we can't go for ourselves, right? So we are working on that.
So Nigel, when you go into these homes, of 115 of them, that is a lot.
Yes.
What do you see, and what is the feedback you get?
All right. Well, we have recently started really doing the assessment of the homes, right? The function of the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Social Development, basically, they have inspectors and inspectorates that are supposed to go in and check these homes on an annual basis regularly to make sure that they're keeping up to the standards. That has not been working so well as it ought to, right? So what the association is doing is sending me in there, basically, to, get the homes ready for when the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Social Development inspectors come. So at least you can minimize some of the pressure that they'll be feeling. So a number of homeowners feel stress and distress and don't know how to deal with it. So we help them to get ready, look at flaws they may have in their homes, little things that needs to be adjusted, developed, and to prepare themselves. It's not the government official inspection, but it helps you to be ready to deal with it.
And, if you have a message to give to homeowners, what would that be?
I would like all homeowners to come in to register with TTRCA. We stand committed. We are not going to stop at what we are doing until we get answers and we get it right. We are not going to accept abuse in any home. So if that is the case, TTRCA is not for them. However, we are willing to work with those that need our help.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ms. Caroline Ruiz, President of Trinidad and Tobago Residential Care Association, and Mr. Nigel Walcott, who is in charge of reviewing the operational standards of the homes at TTRCA. And it's an important conversation which I think we need to have, and we would continue to have conversations like this on the Now Morning Show. But it is time for us to go over to Tobago. Carrie.
Hey, thanks, Rishi. I'm not physically going over there like you did last week, but I'm going to join up right now with one of our athletes from the Special Olympics team who just came back. And I'm really excited to speak this morning with Sapphire Jackman from the Happy Haven School. Good morning, Sapphire.
Sapphire, say good morning. Say good morning. Sapphire, come. Say good morning here. Say good morning.
All right, we have a You have a little bit of difficulty with the link there right now, so you're going to take a look at our local weather with Ian Wallace.
Despite those early morning showers, in terms of the overall conditions for rainfall across Trinidad and Tobago, we're still in need of the rains, especially out towards the reservoirs. I've been seeing at Navet, basically, it's now just at 51%. Normally it's 3/4 full by now, but it's just at half as you go through the month of March, and obviously for Hollis as well, down to 58%. Now for Trinidad and Tobago, just occasional clouds and a passing shower is likely. It will continue to be mostly sunny, especially across most of the coastline around Tobago. Only the hillsides may attract a brief shower up towards the north of Tobago. Also along the hillsides of northern Trinidad, a few showers are possible as you go through your day, but overall the sunshine will be there, dominating conditions, especially in central and the southern areas through San Fernando coming down to Point Fortin. Not much of a breeze is expected on the western side of Trinidad, but you could be seeing a few flags flapping along the eastern shoreline. Temperature-wise, looking at a warm 32 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, 31 in Tobago, and it seems as though we'll keep conditions fairly warm as we go through the latter half of the week, through Thursday and Friday. We'll lose most of the showers once we get past Wednesday. And similarly for Trinidad, looking for Thursday and Friday to see a warm 32 degrees Celsius, maybe a touch higher in the capital as we end the working week. Offshore, easterly winds remain moderate at 15 knots. A few whitecaps are expected as usual for this time of the year. The waves are beginning to build, looking at 2-meter wind waves out in the Atlantic with northeasterly swells of 8 seconds. And you have your high tide at 7:30 a.m. and then your low tide at 2:15 p.m. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.
This Sunday, get lost in the world of award-winning films. Green Days by the River, April 21st at 3 p.m. Be viewing TTT to experience the breathtaking film adaptation of Michael Anthony's beloved novel. Voted People's Choice for Best Narrative Feature at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Recipient of the Carmichael Award for Exceptional Storytelling at the Barbados Independent Film Festival. Green Days by the River proves that locally produced films will captivate you and transport you to other worlds. A tale of love, loss, and intrigue. Green Days by the River premieres April 21st only on TTT.
Good day, sir. I am number 18854, woman acting Corporal Jordan. I observe that you just broke the traffic light. May I see your driver's permit and your insurance, please?
Officer, you know I couldn't stop there. You're my blind, oh gosh. All them criminals and them on the outside and you jumping me with a red light. Come on, officer.
Sir, are you aware that breach of a traffic light is one of the leading causes of road fatality? So we must all do our part to be responsible drivers.
You're right. I never really thought about it that way. I like how you deal with me real professional as well.
Was our service satisfactory? Call 800 TTPS and share your experience.
You are watching the Now Morning Show. We are also on Talk City 91.1 FM, TTT Live online on Facebook, and guess what? TTT Live online on YouTube as well. So many platforms for you to catch the Now Morning Show on. All right, so we're going to jump back across the island now to Tobago, and with me this morning, as I mentioned, one of our athletes from the Special Olympics team that came back here victorious, and she actually won 2 medals. One, she brought in the gold for the softball throw, and she brought in silver for the 100-meter walk. And with me this morning is Sapphire Jackman from the Happy Haven School, and also her coach, Lindell Hoyt Sanchez. And we're going to have an interesting conversation this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Hi, good morning. Sophia, say good morning.
Morning. Hi, Sapphire. Good morning.
Say morning again.
I'm really happy to chat with you this morning, Sapphire. And I want to say congratulations, firstly, on your 2 medals that you went and represented us in Trinidad and Tobago so well at the Special Olympics.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's get into it. Lindell, explain to me a little bit what training was like with Sapphire and the rest of the team in regards to preparing for the Special Olympics.
Okay, the team would have trained extensively at the Hazy Crawford Stadium with regards to Sophia. Sophia would have trained in Tobago. Her mother was very instrumental at one part because she would have done a lot of the fitness work with her. I would have just come in and do more the technical work with her with regards to walking between the lines, staying in the lanes, and throwing the ball to an extent.
And what did some of that fitness work include?
Well, she would have done a lot of walking. She would walk almost every day at the Black Rock facility. Her mother would take her there on evenings, and she would do a lot of walking there.
And then, well, we saw what the outcome was of that. She got silver overall in the 100-meter walk. And what about the softball throw event? How was the preparation for that?
Sophia is a different athlete. She will do something today. She'll do something different tomorrow. So whenever we get a chance, especially what we did a lot of it when we got to Abu Dhabi is when we did a lot more work with her with the ball. She would throw, as I said, she threw well at the training sessions, but at the preliminaries for the heat selection, she would have thrown on the arm. So I was a little worried with that throw that she made on the arm in the qualifying heat.
Right.
But for the final, she did a proper throw, she did an overhand throw, and of course she got the gold for that throw.
Yeah, and it's excellent. We just want to say congratulations on that. Sapphire, do you like walking?
Sapphire, like to walk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about throwing the softball? Do you enjoy that as well?
You enjoy throwing the ball? She's not sure.
Well, even though you don't like it, whether or not you like it, you did very well at it. So, Lindell, tell me, what is Sapphire's disability?
Sapphire, I guess, is what they call a slow learner. She takes a while to interpret. I think Sapphire is somebody that does what she wants when she wants, but she understands exactly what's going on around her at times.
And well, I guess what she wanted to do was win, because win she did, and it's really exciting. So tell me, what's next for Sapphire, and then maybe we could chat about some of the other team members in later presentations.
Okay, it's expected that we will continue to do work with Sapphire and other athletes in Tobago. My expectations is maybe at the next World Games we have a lot more athletes from Tobago being part of the contingent going out there to those games.
Is Sapphire the only one from Tobago this time around?
Yes, this year Sapphire is the only athlete we had from Tobago.
Well, yeah, I want to give her a round of applause, representing Tobago itself very well. Being the only one, but she definitely sets the example, and we definitely, as you said, we'd love to see other athletes from Tobago, coming out there, Tobago strong, and representing us.
Yes.
All right, so all right, Lindell Hoyt Sanchez, thank you for joining us this morning. Sapphire, thank you again for joining us as well this morning, and we just want to wish you congratulations again for your wonderful wins that you have brought home and made Trinidad and Tobago very proud.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great morning. All right, and now I'm going to walk across to my next guest who's already in studio. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to speak a little bit about gospel. Let me leave this coffee right here. Thinking about too many things at the same time. This morning with me is Mr. Marlon Samuel, and you're a gospel artist, sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing this morning?
Oh, great.
So, one doesn't just become a gospel artist just like that. There must be a little bit of a backstory. What brought you to the point of becoming a gospel artist?
Well, I started off singing calypso, right, and realizing I was missing something, right? And that void that I was missing was God. And when I gave my life to Christ, I mean, seeing that I was actually singing calypso, I transformed from the calypso into gospel.
Transform from the regular social commentary and political things that calypso encompasses into gospel. So how was that transition?
Well, it was very, very smooth. I mean, it was very smooth because, seeing that I already started to sing. So that transition, of course, everything would have been designed by God.
Right.
Right. And, sometimes we don't actually see the plan and purpose of God, but God uses things for his glory.
Yes.
So basically, he started me up singing the calypso because he had planned for me in gospel.
What was your life like before being born again?
Well, I am from San Fernando. To be precise, Bonaventure. I grew up with my grandparents.
Right.
But at that point in time, I didn't understand what they were trying to do. Right? Every morning, before I go to school, I had us to actually feed the animals.
Right.
Full water. At that point in time, we didn't have actually standpipe in the yard, so we had standpipe in the village.
Right. Yeah.
So we had like barrels, right, and the long time iron barrels had rims.
Yeah.
So when you have to go and fill the water, you have the whole village coming. So you have your turn. So sometimes your turn may last for about a half an hour.
Wow,
you had to fill about 3 rims before you go to school.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, didn't understand that to me it was work.
Right.
Understanding that my grandparents was developing me.
And there were principles behind
it. Yeah. Right? And, that had actually taught me a great lesson in terms of the man that I am today.
Right.
Understanding responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to perform for us this morning and take us to the top of the hour for the news. What's the name of the piece you're going to perform for us?
Well, this song, the name of this song is Not Gonna Win.
Not Gonna Win?
Yeah, Not Gonna Win. Right? God has downloaded in my spirit. I mean, I wasn't actually going to do this song, but because of understanding that based on how society is going now, we were given the command to go out as Christians, to go outside there and be fishers of men. I would say to go outside there and recruit. Now, the enemy is recruiting, right? And what we have to do as children of God is to go outside there and recruit, go into the enemy camp and pull back people to Christ. And also, in that process, we have to understand that the enemy came to kill, steal, and destroy. And whatever that we set our mind to, we have to believe that we're going to win. So whatever the enemy is trying to do, so when you start your day in the morning, you have to declare that you are going to win.
All right. And I see you wearing the Lord's Army t-shirt there. And we're in a battle. And, the song, the piece we have upstairs is In a War.
Yeah.
So, we're going to cue up that track right now, and I will give you the floor, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
You come to kill, steal, and destroy. Don't care if you're a man, girl, or boy. Doing everything to destroy you. Careful of the lies that he tell you. One thing I want you to remember. Hey, I is a soldier, you is a soldier. In the army of Jehovah. Hey, all the soldiers. I is a soldier, you is a soldier. Hey, in the army of Jehovah. You know why? It's a war, it's a war. Hey! It's a war, it's a war. The enemy not winning this war. It's a war, it's a war. Hey! All the soldiers. It's a war, it's a war. Tell us. Hey, tell me, are you ready? Are you ready? Do you have on your armor? Hey! This battle we will conquer. Because we have the Father. Hey! Now why? Does he cover we with his precious blood? We cover from head to toe. Straight ahead we charging on. Cause I'm ready to go. I is a soldier, you is a soldier. Hey! In the army of Jehovah. I is a soldier, you is a soldier. in the army of Jehovah. Yeah, why? It's a war, it's a war. The enemy can't win at all. It's a war, it's a war. The enemy will not win at all. Hey! It's a war, it's a war. Hey!
The doors of the Kaiso Cafe open every Sunday at Talk City 91.1 FM. We play the best calypsos, interview the singers, discuss calypso history, and we invite you, the listener, to participate. Join us from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday for the Kaiso Cafe on Talk City 91.1 FM.
From the small town all the way.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Cozier-Phillip. This is News Now on TTT. Government and Trinidad Petroleum Holdings Limited have both denied claims that Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited is being sold to Barbados Simpson Oil Limited. This notice alleged the company was sold to Simpson Oil Limited of Barbados. Immediately after the post, Communications Minister Stuart Young, via the office of the Prime Minister's WhatsApp channel, said there's no truth to the information being circulated and claimed that the information was a desperate attempt to mislead the public of Trinidad and Tobago. Also attempting to clear the air on the matter was the Trinidad Petroleum Holdings Limited, which said the process for inviting, receiving and assessing proposals for TPHL's refinery assets is currently in train, and to date, TPHL has only sought expressions of interest from potentially interested parties. Trinidad Petroleum Holdings said at this time the process is at a preliminary stage and still ongoing. Judiciary staff staged a third day of protests on Monday as fears continued to loom about the future of their jobs. This as their leader, PSA President Watson Duke, remained convinced that once the restructure of the judiciary took effect on September 1st this year, workers would be rendered jobless. This despite assurances from both the Attorney General, Faris Al-Rawi, and the judiciary that the process would not exclude existing workers, but rather seek to absorb them into the new system. Mr. Duke maintained his position that government was infringing on the independence of the judiciary.
You see these workers here? They want to put these workers on contract. And the maximum they're giving them is 5 years. Why 5 years? Why 5 years to coincide with the term of a government? Because they want to use them to achieve their ends.
At the helm of the changes is a goal to transform the judicial system into one that operates with efficiency. But Mr. Duke was of the view that the backlog of cases plaguing the system was no fault of the administrative staff.
The backlog of causes has more to do with the rules that governs the court. Alright, if they want to deal with speeding up trials, they have to deal with the rules, and they have to deal with judges, they have to deal with lawyers. These are the ones who will ask for an adjournment. These are the ones who sometimes are not prepared.
The 3 Freeport men who were kidnapped by fake police officers on Sunday have been released. Police reports say the men were beaten with pieces of iron and a cutlass by their kidnappers. Brothers Aaron Rupnarine, 20, and Sunil Rupnarine, 24, and their friend Shazam Hossain, aged 30, were taken to the Freeport Health Center and were treated for minor injuries. On Sunday, Hossain and the Rupnarine brothers were liming in front of a mini-mart in Freeport at around 4 p.m. when a car and a van pulled up. 2 men with guns who identified themselves as police officers grabbed the men and sped off in the car. Freeport police are continuing investigations. To some sports news now. Pleased as punch. That's the word from the new president of Cricket West Indies, Ricky Skerritt, as he addressed the media following his stunning upset of the former president, Dave Cameron, 8 votes to 4 at the Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, Jamaica. He added that some changes will be needed in order to move the process forward, but is ready to hit the ground running to ensure things pick up quickly to the benefit of the sport in the region.
We're going to have to get as much information updated on finance and human resource issues before we know exactly what potential there is. But the first order of business is to meet with the executive management, hear from them what are some of the key challenges that they're facing, and then start to work on the priorities that we have established, and we might have to do some fine-tuning from time to time.
That brings us to the end of News Now on TTT. I am Karen Kuzia-Phillip.
Receive a free Kindle Fire 7 HD with Alexa features when you purchase the highly effective JJ and Friends SEA Tab Suite. Designed for students in standards 3 to 5, the SEA Tab provides interactive learning for success, digital tools for a digital generation, and has over 50 bonus apps that relate to the Ministry of Education's SEA syllabus. The SEA Suite comes with a free Amazon Kindle Fire 7 tablet, along with workbooks, charts, and checklists, designed to successfully prepare your child for the SEA exam.
All of my experience in education, which totals up to almost 50 years, I've never seen anything that changed the landscape the way this has.
When they have a tablet in their hands,
they become so much more engaged. It's the new pencil, it's the new paper, it's the new book.
It's education everywhere at all times.
It's totally different than the classroom that we grew up in. It's the future.
Call now 374-SEA2. That's 374-7322 or 7464-SEA.
Delivering more news, more often to more people. Log on to www.ttt.live.
Back everybody to the second hour of the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM, on Facebook at TTT Live Online, and on YouTube at TTT Live Online as well. I lost my thought there for a second.
We're like everywhere now. That's the thing, you know. It's a little bit mind-boggling that, you know, you're able to catch this show like on so many platforms, and you know, if you can't catch it on one, you know, if you're not at home with your television sets, if you're driving to work, you can catch us on the radio. If you are anywhere else in the world, you can catch us online on 2 platforms, YouTube and Facebook. So definitely exciting news there. No excuse for not watching the Now Morning Show.
I agree with Carrie. No excuse. Carrie, and today is Purple Day. It's the International Day for Epilepsy and Falls. It's today, March 26th. This day started in 2008. A young girl by the name of Cassidy Megan. She wanted to raise awareness for epilepsy because she was living with it.
Right.
And today in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a series of events. The Ministry of Health and PAHO. We did an interview talking a little bit about it this morning with Dion Batista, our very own Dion Batista. She shared her experience living with epilepsy, getting seizures, and she also shared that first episode that she had, you know, out in public.
Right. Yeah. I can't even imagine.
It's an interesting conversation that I'm sure we'll continue to have, as well as we here on Now continue to raise awareness for everything that is happening and give people some information that they can use on a daily basis.
You know what? I think I need to go buy myself a purple shirt or t-shirt or
and
something
a pink.
today.
You need to get purple and pink and some bright colors. You know, today I'm agreeing with Viola. You need to get some colors in your wardrobe.
I like neutral anyway. We'll talk about that later.
But some interesting news coming out of the High Court yesterday, Carrie. So you remember that 2017 matter that Jason Jones would have filed, challenging the constitutionality of sections 13 and 16 of the Sexual Offences Act?
Right.
Yeah, buggery. And so apparently that matter was called to the High Court yesterday, and the Attorney General, his office, has until May to file the record of appeal for that case, and later on this year we may hear a little bit more on that, because the government did say that it is going to appeal the initial ruling, which said that buggery is unconstitutional.
Right.
Yeah. So we have to wait a little bit longer in May to find out what is going to happen with that. And I mean, that was a real heated discussion.
Yeah, it was.
Latter part of last year.
It was, definitely.
So that is something that might heat up again. And something else happened last night. Apparently, the whole issue with the sale of Paria fuel trading came up again.
Right.
And I don't want to say too much about it again because I stressed the point earlier on this morning.
Yeah,
but you have to stay with TTT to get all of the information.
Yeah, but one thing is clear. Having clear information is very necessary. It's integral to informing the public so that we all know what is happening and there wouldn't be any fake news or speculation.
Yeah, so look forward, and you have to stay with TTT for everything, including the traffic update.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
All right, and we are in the Champlain area right now, and what we are looking at are vehicles that are stopped at that traffic light that is heading southbound onto the connector road for the Uriah Butler Highway. We are seeing vehicles traveling toward the west there on the priority bus route. And just behind you may catch a little glimpse of vehicles on the Eastern Main Road heading toward the west as well. There does not seem to be any major congestion or traffic at this point in time in the Champlain area, but we'll keep our eyes on that. At this point in time, we don't see any movement toward the east. So for those of you heading in that direction right now, that's good news. You'll have a free flow of traffic and easy way to go. Those of you heading in the west and heading toward there right now, we'll see how it goes. But for now, let's wrap up this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited. We make it happen.
And today it is Tuesday, so we're going to link up with our sweet sister station, 100.1 FM. And with us this morning is Mark Anthony. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Rishi, guys. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing fine also. Good. Actually, I'm doing fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
Actually, I forgot
Come on, Mark.
I forgot. Absolutely fantastic I'm doing this morning. Guys, I forgot to wear my purple this morning, so I'm glad that Rishi is representing.
Of course, I support everything.
I know that.
I'm a charitable person.
I know that. Take nothing away from you. You are, you're always on the ball. And I heard you giving some really good information. Actually, you give great information all the time.
Thank you very much.
So hats off to you guys. Sherry was extending greetings to you this morning. She said she's waiting to see Carrie's next DIY. I had a lot of fun with that one, Carrie. I must say, Carrie, we're rocking the charts with that one, but still. So good morning to you. And someone also said to me, I met this lady in Price Mart, and she said she would like to see Rishi join you one of these mornings on that DIY.
Yeah, right. That will happen.
I decided to throw it out there, because
why not?
Sure.
You can't say the message wasn't
just
sent.
like I promised people I'm going to dance and sing, I'm definitely going to go and do a DIY.
Because I understand that you're doing salsa lessons right now. So, so
that is exactly what I'm doing.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so good to have fun, and you guys really have fun in the morning. So, Carrie, too bad you didn't wear your purple this morning. I heard him take a little shot at you just now.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't own anything purple, but I think I'll change that today.
So you're going to buy something today?
Yeah, I'm going to probably go get something purple today. To stand here, with the cause.
Here. You don't forget what we already know. We should go on in. But, good morning to all our friends on now, and hats off to you guys again. And the show is growing all over. People are talking about now, you're out there. I was looking at a little banana the other day in the grocery, and lady said, hey, use the fella from TV. We'll be talking with them fellas in the morning with the strong man. I say, yes.
What were you looking at?
Fruits. Bananas.
I don't know. I didn't hear properly. There was a.
I know you don't hear properly, Rishi. I know you don't hear properly, Rishi. Anyway, we're looking up.
Mark, what is happening on Sweet today?
Sweet, we got great music today. We got some Chris Brown in the background. Chris Brown always getting himself in trouble. He seems to be. It's like a magnet for him. Trouble, Chris Brown. Trouble, Chris Brown. Chris Brown can't keep himself out of trouble. I don't know if it goes with the bad boy image. You have to, when he gets bored, he has to find something to keep himself in the news. Maybe when your music is not going that way, then you try to find some other way to keep yourself relevant.
Was that a little bit of shade you threw at Chris Brown there, Mark?
I mean, I like some of his songs, but I can't understand how one brother could keep getting himself into trouble like that, keep running into the same situation. But that goes with the image, you know.
Mark. Yeah. So our director was just saying that you old school. You don't understand Chris Brown's music.
Oh, that's how.
Is he calling you old?
That's what.
Well, he is, right?
Old is relative. Remember that, Carlos. Old is relative. So I mean, you just have to look at it. But it doesn't mean that you can't. You could relate to the music. You can't relate to the issues.
Right.
So if Emac don't relate to the music, which I can't relate to the situations that he keeps finding himself
well,
in. And I think he's such an intelligent brother. He should know better.
Well, hopefully he starts to do some positive things, a bit more positive things. So he's in the media for something positive. Mark, I would like to thank you very much for joining us once again, and I will join you along with Carrie. Hopefully I can't join you tomorrow.
Don't make any promises.
I can't join you tomorrow. I apologize on behalf of myself already. I cannot join you tomorrow morning, but I will try to be there at some point in time.
I know that you guys started filming once again. So Rishi, I know your schedule is a bit booked up.
Yeah.
So new movie coming out, so we look out for that one, Rishi.
Yes. All right, Mark, thank you very much for joining us. Special good morning
to all our listeners,
Thank you very much.
100.1 FM. And of course, special good morning to the whole team there, the whole family at 100.1.
All right, so it is time for us to continue with our interviews this morning. And you know, Carrie, one thing that we always talk about is we say that when students come out of university, they have a lot of theoretical knowledge, but they can't actually do anything.
Right, because they don't have the hands-on experience sometimes, right?
Exactly, and a lot of people complain about that. So let's find out what the University of the West Indies is doing to change that. Professor Brian Copeland, he is joining us this morning. We're going to talk about how UWI is transforming from an academic to an entrepreneurial university. Good morning, Professor.
Morning, Rishi. Pleasure to be here.
So, you heard what I just told Carrie?
Yes, I did. I was listening.
And do you agree with that?
Yes and no. We have been doing quite a lot with respect to the specific issue you mentioned. We do have a cooperative training program where students can in fact go out for a year and work in industry, come back and finish their degree. And a couple of the faculties have included internship courses in their programs. So actually, again, they go out, actually get credit for going out and working in industry, coming back and getting that hands-on. So there has been a shift in it. The issue is a bigger one of alignment of the education agenda to the workplace future and agenda itself.
So how do you plan to accomplish this?
Well, as I said, we have been engaged in some initiatives, but you spoke of an entrepreneurial university. There is a system that we have been developing. We've just gotten approval to go forward and really digging deep, crafting out those plans. This is for the creation of an innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem. And what that will do is it will actually facilitate the development of ideas that are created by students and or staff and move them all the way out into commercial implementation, all the way out. So we're really talking about a university that is creating spin-offs and startups and thereby influencing and influencing the economy and its growth and development. And at the same time, it will take care of a problem that we're seeing where students or graduates are either underemployed or unemployed. We're telling them you need to go and start a job on your own. And we need those jobs to be foreign exchange earning jobs because that's where our real challenge is as an economy.
But that sounds harder than it is.
Well, if it was easy, then
everybody would have done it.
No. So it's a challenge that we have flagged for many years, but with our backs almost against the wall as a nation right now, it has become much more urgent. So we have been working to develop this ecosystem. Part of it is I saw you with the acronym. There is a unit called STACY, St. Augustine Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, that has in fact existed before under a different name. Klingon-like name, we used to call it. It's very hard to pronounce. But this will be not necessarily the center of the ecosystem, but a critical component that will help ideas coming forward to move to the next stage, which is actually spin-off and startup. Right? We have about 5 possibilities right now for startup within the current year.
So how long do we have to wait now for it to start up?
St. Augustine Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship will formally launch within the next couple of months. We have a huge launch in October that is started to launch the entire ecosystem. Jerry Brooks, NGC chairman, is actually helping us to facilitate this. And even as we speak, we are in fact moving some products forward. So as I said, we have about 5 lined up. We had 1 patent filed and actually granted in the US last year. This is for fingerprint technology. 1 on the way for antibiotic resistance drugs. The 5 that everyone knows of is one that we're looking at as well. That's 3. UE owns that intellectual property, by the way. Just need to say that. And there are a couple of others that are coming out from the various faculties. There are about 5 in all that we're looking to launch as soon as we can.
So some good things to come in the near future from the University of the West.
Yeah, but the critical thing is that this is all pegged on a vision. And the vision is that in the near, not too distant future, our economy will not be in the problem that it's in now. Because we would have built up this robust structure that includes the existing companies. We've helped those to become even more competitive. But at the bottom, where we're really missing, those small and medium enterprises, they need to come up to the fore. In Germany, there's a group of small and medium enterprises called the Mittelstand. So we're talking about building a Caribbean Mittelstand, which, similar to the German counterpart, earns 30%, contributes 30% to foreign export. 30%, corresponding to 30% from the middle-tier companies and 30% from the top-tier companies. And significantly, accounts for 60% of the workforce. Those are small and medium enterprises, small companies, small families, families getting together to form these companies that support the larger ones, but also export on their own. As a country, most of our citizens will know how to be entrepreneurial and also how to earn their own foreign exchange.
Is this program so far being received well by the students there at UE?
We are now rolling it out fully. When we presented this to the Guild, they were excited about it. And we will have one forum with the students before the exams. After exams, you can't touch them.
Just now.
Where we'll talk to them about it and what we need to see going forward. And especially with the new Guild executive, we need to engage those fully. These ideas are brand new. They've been in development for the last 2.5 years, but they've really taken off almost exponentially since October. So now is the time where, in fact, we're rolling out our communications.
And is it for staff and students, everybody at the university?
John Public in the end as well.
Right.
Because a lot of what we're looking at, if you really look at innovation, innovation in its extreme form is highly risky. It's very, very risky. Yeah. You're talking about 1 in 20 that make it. But we really talk about a spectrum of innovation where you have a brand new idea that can help an existing company to perform better, to compete better. We have a channel for that. But even the high risk innovative ideas, we want to have a channel for those as well. You never know which one would win.
Yeah. Now, I just want to go over to the recently concluded St. Augustine Campus Council, which took place on Tuesday, the 19th of March, 2019, and the major accomplishments for the past year.
Yeah. Well, to me, this was the major one, which is crafting this innovation and ecosystem. We've made great advances in regard to our strategic plan, because quite apart from the innovation and entrepreneurial thrust, we are in fact revisiting the UE itself. Now, this current strategic plan, Rishi, is one that for the first time looks outward. What can UE do to help sustain, support, develop, and grow the region? And part of it is, of course, teaching and teaching well. Now, coming back to the point you raised earlier, one of the threads of the strategic initiatives going forward is something we call CPR, which is Curriculum and Pedagogical Reform, which is what do we teach, how do we better structure it to make sure that we are much more effective and efficient, by the way, in doing so, with respect to how we get the quote-unquote ideal graduate out there. Now, that is something that has always been discussed. But I think for the first time, we have a good idea as to how to move what we have done in the past, how to do that better in this
and I hope that we can hear more about this initiative. I know it's going to be rolled out before exams for staff and students at the university.
That's innovation.
As a student and somewhat of a staff, I would definitely check it out and come back and let people know what is happening at the University of the West Indies. Professor Brian Copeland, thank you very much for joining us this morning and sharing this information. Trinidad and Tobago, as we mentioned, it is World Seizure Awareness Day. It's Purple Day. On March 26th, we commemorate World Seizure Day, and we want to give you a short video, take a break and come back.
Alright, so living with seizures. I have been having episodes since I was 8 years old. I found out exactly what they were in 2016. I was 27. Yeah. So 8 to 27, I didn't know what was happening to me. I would just know that 1 minute I'm standing up straight talking to somebody, next minute I'm flat on the ground. So in 2016, I had to be confirmed for my job. I was referred to a neurologist, and that's when they did more tests to figure out what was happening. Because I had previously gone to a doctor in 2013 when it was really, really bad. I was just getting dizzy after dizzy after dizzy spells, and I was just seeing staticky, like, you know, when a television has static on it, that's how I was seeing. So in 2013, they couldn't figure out what was wrong. 2016, went to another neurologist and found out that it's a short circuit on the left side of my brain. I was told I shouldn't be driving. Now, I'm a 29-year-old. I absolutely love cars, and I love driving. So that for me was the hardest thing to swallow with the diagnosis. Even when they said, you know, it might be something wrong with your brain, I was like, okay, we could work with that. When they said I would not be able to drive, that's when I broke down. Since then, I have been on different medications. None are working, none work. I've been on different beta blockers, carbamazepine. There was one before that I can't remember the name right now. Carbamazepine made me sick, and the other one did absolutely nothing. So the doctor did tell me that it should be 60% lifestyle and 40% medication. So that is what I'm trying to work on. My sleeping, what I eat, not having stress, not consuming too much alcohol. Those sorts of things are what I'm working on to reduce my episodes.
Production, a new era in media. Our professional services include videography, cinematography, photography, aerial videography, and television production. We provide expert coverage of weddings, concerts, sporting events, graduations, corporate functions, music videos, ads, lectures, christenings, parties, and portraits. Contact us today. Ranking Production, capturing your memorable moments in life. Easter Sunday, get lost in the world of award-winning films. Green Days by the River, April 21st at 3 p.m. Be viewing TTT to experience the breathtaking film adaptation of Michael Anthony's beloved novel. Voted People's Choice for Best Narrative Feature at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Recipient of the Carmichael Award for Exceptional Storytelling at the Barbados Independent Film Festival. Green Days by the River proves that locally produced films will captivate you and transport you to other worlds. A tale of love, loss, and intrigue. Green Days by the River premieres April 21st only on TTT.
On any given day, at any given time,
you can have your say on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Call in, text in, send us an email. All our shows are fully interactive.
Whether we're talking politics, sports,
current affairs, social issues,
culture, and the arts, stay in the know with our daily news bulletin and breaking news updates.
We're committed to keeping you informed about the world around you.
And yes, we entertain you too with the best Kaiso, steel pan, and local and regional music. We are your address for talk. Talk City 91.1 FM and TalkCity91FM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. You are still watching the Now Morning Show right here on TTT, also on Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT live online on both Facebook and YouTube. Now we're going to jump back across to Tobago one more time because I have an interesting conversation ahead with Jason Nancis, who is the Business Development Officer of the REACH unit. Good morning, Jason.
Hi, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing very, very well. And yourself, sir?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Thank you for having us on your show this morning.
Thank you for being present as well. So let's talk about the REACH unit a little bit. When and why was the REACH unit established?
All right. The REACH unit was established, as my records indicate, as early as 2008. And it was established primarily to assist with poverty eradication, getting more persons into the entrepreneurial sphere, and also educating the population about what possibilities exist within entrepreneurship.
What are some of the ways in which you cover those objectives?
Well, we have been doing some marketing in communities, bringing more awareness about the program and the benefits of being entrepreneurs and self-sustainable. We also have grant funding programs. We also have expos that we expose the clients who have received funding from the program. So we give them basically an opportunity to market themselves and get feedback about the products and the services that they're offering.
Oh, that's excellent. So just tell me, you mentioned the people who have benefited from it. How many are we talking about over the years since the REACH unit has been established?
We have funded approximately about 400 persons.
400 persons. That's amazing.
And today is no different. Today is actually one of our grant distribution ceremonies.
Right.
And we have about 50 new clients who will benefit from the seed funding that the program offers.
So over 400, closer to 500 to date. So tell me, like, what are some of the success stories, if you could share with us, of those who were assisted by the REACH unit and are still in operation today?
Okay, some of the success stories, very notable ones here in Tobago. We have one person who is in the business of manufacturing their own dishwashing liquids and handheld soaps.
Wow.
We have others who are doing innovative ideas like bay leaf powders, persons who are doing jewelry from clay.
From clay?
And we have a number, from clay.
So much talent over there in Tobago, and taking these arts and different things and making it into a business.
Yes, and not to be outdone is, of course, our culinary side.
Right.
We can boast about having some of the best foods in the country. So we exploit that as well.
Of course, definitely. And us Trinbagonians love our belly and we love food.
Yes. And I know you Tunis particularly like your crab and dumpling and others.
Yeah, of course. What can we expect from the grant distribution ceremony today?
It's a unique experience for us. We have tried through the Secretary of Health. I know she has a wealth of experience and knowledge and is trying to extend the International Women's Day to incorporate a lot of programs to highlight the successes of women especially. And today sort of culminates that. The grant distribution ceremony today, I mentioned it's 50 persons. 40 of those are actually women.
40 are women.
Benefited from 40 of them are women and girls who are aspiring to get into business. So they would have gone through our process. They would have been selected and will receive those seed funding balances today.
That is amazing. Is there like a cap to how much one can acquire in regards to starting up a business venture?
Well, the program, because of its design, the administration of the grant is really limited to about $7,500.
Right.
Now, some persons may not consider that a lot of money, but considering that it's meant to be seed capital, it really gives you the opportunity to be innovative and to come up with some of the strategies on your own, so that you could, when you get into the venture itself, you have total buy-in and therefore you're resilient and you really want to make it work. So we think it is a fair amount, given the economic circumstances, of course, that the country is facing. We're trying to maintain that, and so far it has been working.
That is great. And again, it takes innovation. It takes a kind of go-get-it attitude to take that money and make it work and make it blossom into an actual active and working business.
Yeah. And one of the other benefits of the program, once you have received the funding, we do not leave you alone. So you have access to all the wealth of information at our office through our officers. We do have monitoring and evaluation sessions. We do have training programs. When we recognize that things are not going as good as they should, we bring you in, we give you some training, and we let you go again. So it's all meant to make sure that you're on that path to success.
All right, and could you tell us the details of accessing that grant? Like what are the requirements for accessing the grant if you are a prospective entrepreneur?
All right, well, we aim not to make it too difficult for anyone. The normal statutory documents apply: your ID card, a utility bill, invoices, because we pay to suppliers rather than to individuals. You also have to supply quotations, what you may wish us to purchase. We do require you to be registered with the Registrar General's office. That forms part of our basic requirements. And whatever else that your business may require at the time of application, we let you know. And usually it's not anything difficult for the clients to supply.
All right, and how do we get into contact with you?
All right, well, we are located at the Division of Health. That's number 104 Wilson Road, Scarborough. And our contact numbers there are 639-3395. Of course, if you wish to pay us a visit, you can always drop by and ask anyone on the compound to direct you to the REACH unit. We're more than willing to have you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jason Nancis, Business Development Officer of the REACH unit. I wish you the best for that ceremony today, and you continue doing the great work that you're doing, empowering young entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and, the people of Tobago. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having us.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, we have a little more in our program ahead. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Receive a free Kindle Fire 7 HD with Alexa features when you purchase the highly effective JJ and Friends SEA Tab Suite. Designed for students in standards 3 to 5, the SEA Tab provides interactive learning for success, digital tools for a digital generation, and has over 50 bonus apps that relate to the Ministry of Education's SEA syllabus. The SEA Suite comes with a free Amazon Kindle Fire 7 tablet, along with workbooks, charts, and checklists, designed to successfully prepare your child for the SEA exam.
All of my experience in education, which totals up to almost 50 years, I've never seen anything that changed the landscape the way this has.
When they have a tablet in their hands,
They become so much more engaged. It's the new pencil, it's the new paper, it's the new book.
it's education everywhere at all times.
It's totally different than the classroom that we grew up in. It's the future.
Call now 374-SEA2. That's 374-7322 or 7464-SEA.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. No need for introduction. You all know who we are. So let's get down to business. I came to tell you all thanks for not informing on me when you see me shooting behind your brother in the middle of the road now. Or when you see me put the drugs in the hole, right in the wall around the corner. Or when I break in your neighbor house and empty it out. And I know you didn't tell the police while they hide the gun that I know you see. But no need to complain, because that is not your business, eh? So when I come to rob you tomorrow with the same gun I know you see me hide, don't sell me out, eh? Thanks again.
Quick.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM, on Facebook at TTT Live Online, and you can also check out our live stream on YouTube. Just search TTT Live Online. So let's talk a little bit about music and magic event that is coming up and the purpose of it, because from what I understand, it's an event which is geared towards going into schools and working with young people to, make a positive contribution to Trinidad and Tobago. I have with me Mr. Wesley Charan, who is the director of the Ministry Meets Music, and Mr. Aaron Fullerton, who is the event coordinator. And this event is coming up on Friday, 29th March from 7 p.m. at Sapa. All right, so Wesley, I want to start with you this morning because I know you are the director of this event. How did you come up with it?
Well, we saw a desire we saw the need to go into the communities because we saw a lack of moral values and that kind of stuff with the upscale in crime, and so we realized that there was some form of collapse in the society that we needed to put back in the Word of God into it, some moral values. So we realized that music was that medium which would relate to everyone. And we have some very talented local gospel artists here that also comes with, that a life story. They come with very strong testimonies that, people situations that people would be going through today. And we use these gospel artists with their stories to share it with others out there. And what's best to share with someone who actually experiences what you are going through.
So you're going to get performances and people coming on to share their stories as well.
Yes, basically. Yes.
So one of the things that you mentioned is that you want to help people in communities because you think that there is a loss of moral values.
Yes.
Is it something that you will be going to schools with as well? Or is there a plan?
Well, yes, it is something that is projected that we have sit and talk about. We would like to put this in motion, hopefully in the near future, where we could be able to visit schools and minister to the students in song and the artists' testimonies. Because there are a lot of issues that needs to be dealt with, and some of them are uncomfortable issues that is not appropriate to just approach somebody and just start to address it like that.
Aaron, how did you get involved with the Empowering Ministry through Music initiative?
Okay, so Wesley and I met. We actually attend the same ministry. He goes to our church, headed by Apostle Dr. Ian Cummings. And through just throwing ideas back and forth, we were like, let's bring forth something of excellence. Let's impact the community. Let's bring the word of God forth through creative means. And this concert is this is our premier event, but we're playing around with a lot of different ideas. So we're not going to be coming from the same angle all the time. Okay, so you all could look out for a lot more from us.
So what is the ultimate goal for this event and for your team in terms of helping people?
Okay, so the foundational intent is to firstly spread the word of God, and also we're going to use the lives of the artists to minister to the people. So we're not only tapping into people who go to church all the time, We want people to be able to come and relax and be ministered to at their level, So there's a wide cast of artists, so you'll be able to relate to at least, if not all of them, at least a few of them. And you will come away with something from the event.
And this event is taking place on Friday, 29th March, 7 p.m. at the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts. Wesley, what else can we expect?
Well, you can expect an event of a high quality. It being our launch of our ministry, Empowering Ministry Through Music, we are bringing it forward as a gala event. However, the price is not a gala price. So you can look forward to coming out and being ministered to, being entertained by the artists, getting to know the artists, their testimonies, where they came from, what God has done for them, and being treated in a quality environment. The Supper is a very nice theater. There will be dinner for those who will be coming directly from work.
Are you trying to convince me to come?
Well, probably you could check it out.
Yeah, and it looks like a really good a cast. I see Nigel Lopez, Moses Henry, Kishon John, and by the way, we're going to be speaking with Kishon John in a short while. Hear his story, or at least part of his story, his journey. Ezekiel Joseph, Jaron Nurse, it's Axia Nation, which is the all-girls band.
Yes,
so you're featuring males and females there.
Yes.
Where can we get tickets?
Sure, so we can get tickets at Blanix, which is on Frederick Street, Port of Spain, and C3, San Fernando, La Femme Boutique in Siparia, Bags Exclusive, High Street, San Fernando, and JDC Barber Saloon, Batu Avenue, Marabella.
Yeah.
You can also go to Ticket Gateway if you want to get your tickets online.
All right, and tickets cost only $200 general, $300 special reserved, and it is an event which is geared towards getting people involved in something positive.
Yes, it is.
And what is this event? So it's the first of something else to come?
Yes, well, it will not be only concert events. What we intend to do is use different types of events, different mediums to spread that word. So we may not have the other one. The other event may not be a concert event, but it may just be in the form of a boat cruise, a church camp.
And
it could come in the form of anything.
And the funds go towards helping young people develop themselves.
Yes.
All right, so for more information, you can call 344-0465 or 329-3265. Remember, tickets, as you said, it's a gala event, but with not a gala price. $200 general, $300 special reserve tickets. Thank you very much, Wesley. Thank you very much, Aaron, for coming on and sharing information about what is happening. And as I mentioned just now, we want to talk to one of the persons who will be performing, Mr. Kishon John. He is also going to share his story with us, and I'd like to say good morning and welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, we talk about testimonials and people transforming their lives because of God.
Yeah.
What is your story?
Basically, I grew up in church. At a point in time, I backslided because at the age of 5, I was dealing with so many different struggles. At the age of 5. And one of it was homosexuality. And it was something that I battled with for many, many years. On top of that, I was suicidal. I was depressed. I didn't like myself. When I backslided, I eventually turned on God in terms of I didn't want to hear nothing concerning God. I didn't want to do nothing with no church people. I said, no. But the Bible said that, once you train up a child in the way he should go, he will not depart. And I had that foundation from since I was small. So, so that's my story, basically.
So how did you get from, you said you battled homosexuality, and now you are on what you would consider the right path. How did that happen? How did that transformation happen?
That transformation, it wasn't an angel came and gave me a message or anything like that. As I said, the foundation was there from before. So, there were a lot of thoughts. It takes a thought to change your situation and to change your position. So I had a thought, when I die, where would I go? Where would I spend eternity? And that is the thought that triggered me coming back to Christ. And from that, it has not been an easy journey. I had to go through deliverance. There are different obstacles and different seasons that I had to go through that led me to this point.
And now you can say that you are happy and comfortable with the person that you are.
I'm definitely comfortable. I'm going to be honest, I'm not at that place where I believe God wants me to be, but as a Christian, it's a journey. And I'm going to continue to grow and become more of the man that God has created me to be. Yeah.
So where do you see yourself then, probably in the next 5 years or so?
Next 5 years, probably married with children. More ministry. I definitely want to see persons delivered, because there are a lot of persons who are believing the same lie that I once believed. So I want to see a lot more persons delivered. I want to have a lot more music out there, a lot more ministry.
You said lie. You were living a lie. Why would you use that word lie?
Because the enemy would basically tell you who he wants you to be. And a lot of persons believe the lie in terms of, I was born that way. And that's a lie from the enemy. That's definitely a lie.
So who do we consider the enemy?
The devil.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people may have different arguments, but I know we will have that conversation. And Kishon, I would invite you to come back so that we can actually sit down and have this conversation. But I know on Friday, you will be performing at the concert, and you will be sharing the entire testimony. And when you finish there, you're going to come back with us.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to have to take a break. And when we come back, you're going to perform one of your songs for us.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So stay with us.
Every weekday from 4 to 7 p.m., tune in to Straight Talk with me, Jude, as I tackle the tough issues affecting our society head on. You know how we like to get a bit politically correct when it comes to things like race, religion, sexuality, the touchy topics. So let's get some honest, straightforward, and rational discussion going so we can find some common ground on the issues that divide us the most. Straight Talk right here on Talk City 91.1 FM every weekday from 4 to 7 p.m.
trading on the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange produced a volume of 47,240 shares, with a traded value of $2,468,789.72. Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited was the volume leader, with 12,713 stock units changing hands. Investors bought and sold the stocks of 15 companies, with 5 increasing, 3 declining, and 7 ending the day unchanged. The composite and the all TNT indices advanced, while the cross-listed index declined.
All right, let's check out the travel weather forecast now with Ian Wallace.
We're in the heart of the dry season across the Caribbean. Many areas seeing below normal rainfall for the past few months, and any rainfall that has come has basically been few and far between. There is now a trough heading just south of Hispaniola, could be bringing some cloudiness from time to time, but overall most of the showers still remain across the hillsides. So for Santo Domingo, a brief shower or two that may turn thundery up towards Port-au-Prince. It's partly cloudy, 32 degrees Celsius, and a brief shower here down to Kingston as well. Under the sunshine, maybe just a brief sprinkle or two. For the Eastern Caribbean, it remains dry and tranquil, despite the cloudiness coming through at times. Still, only a few showers are expected across the Windward Islands. Up towards the north, it remains mostly fair and settled. So that's your Caribbean travel forecast, and that's it from me.
All right, so just before the travel weather, the stock report and the break, we were talking with Kishon John, and we told you that he is going to perform for us this morning. And Kishon, what song are you going to perform?
I'm going to perform Yahweh. It is my testimony song. If you listen to the lyrics, you would understand a lot about what I said.
All right, so I know that this is his first time performing on live television as well. So Kishon, the stage is yours.
Thank you.
Yahweh, oh Yahweh, you are the only one who can save me. Yahweh, my Yahweh, you are the only one who can. I was lost in sin, then I let Christ in. The devil had me bound, but Lord, you came and you made me over. I'm a brand new creature. You are my savior, and I can live for you. That's why I say Yahweh, oh Yahweh, you are the only one who can save. Oh Yahweh, my Yahweh, you are the only one, yeah. Oh Yahweh, you love me, yeah. You can. Oh Yahweh, you rescued me. You are the only one, yeah. See, I was caught up and I messed up, but then I prayed and you came and you saved me. See, I was caught up and I messed up, then I prayed and you saved me. I'm so glad you're the one, Lord. Lord, you are the only, you are the only, Lord, you are the only, Lord, you are the only. Because you are the one that came, you are the one that saved, you are the one that healed, you are the only son. Could we call a name? Hey, Yahweh, oh Yahweh, you are the only one, yeah. Hey, Yahweh, my Yahweh, you are the only one, yeah. Say Yahweh, we love me, you can, you rescued me, you are the only one, Lord, you came into my, and you made me realize you're my everything, you're my joy, my king. You are Elohim, you are El Shaddai, Adonai, you're the Prince of Peace. Lord, you are the only. You are the only. Lord, you are the only. Lord, you are the only. You are the one that came. You are the one that saved. You are the one that healed. You are the only Son. Could we call that name right now? The Yahweh. Oh, Yahweh. You are the only one.
Absolutely fantastic this morning, Mr. Kishon John. Thank you very much. And you said that is your testimony song. Thank you very much for coming on, and I'm sure that you'll be joining us next week as well to continue sharing your story and sharing your message to people. But I would like to ask you to stay there because you're going to take us out of the show today, and you'll continue performing this song. But I just want to come back with Carrie. Carrie, interesting story. And we're looking forward to having Kishon come back, and he's a good performer as well.
Yeah, he has a very very beautiful voice, and the message in the music, is something that's very powerful, and the people are saved and inspired by others' testimonies.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to say a special good morning to all of our viewers on Facebook. Lily, Giselle, this Silver and Gigi. I love saying these names, by the way. Tara Lachman, to everybody joining us on Facebook, sharing their comments, talking about the initiatives. I would like to thank you all, Carrie. On behalf of the entire Now team, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Definitely. And we will see you all again tomorrow. Kishon, I want to leave it to you to take us out this morning.
The Yahweh, oh Yahweh, you are the only one who can. The Yahweh, my Yahweh, you are the only one who can. I was lost in sin, then I let Christ in. The devil had me bound, but Lord, you came and you made me over. I'm a brand new creature. You are my savior, and I gonna live for you. That's why I say Yahweh, oh Yahweh, you are the only one. Yeah.
Now we're ready to show the world who we are. Shine a light so everyone could see our identity. See the way we do what we do. When we bring our cultures together, we make each other better. Carifesta.
The Caribbean region has a plethora of over 500 festivals to choose from. But there is one festival that stands out from the others in terms of its rich cultural tapestry, natural heritage, sheer vibrancy and reflection of all that is innately Caribbean. Carifesta.
Our cultures represent a unique fusion that emanates from our historical underpinnings. Since the first edition of Carifesta in Guyana in 1972, this Caribbean showcase has emerged as a 10-day mega Caribbean festival of arts, which we can all look forward to with great anticipation. Carifesta embodies Caribbean integration, and it gives expression to the uniqueness of our Caribbean reality. It is here that the people of the region come together, commingling and creating one community and one people.
Trinidad and Tobago is very proud to host this mega performing arts and culture festival of the creme de la creme of Caribbean artistes and artists from August 16th to the 25th in 2019.
Culture and creative industries, they contribute significantly to the gross domestic product of member countries. Globally, it is believed that culture contributes about 3% of the global domestic product, some $2.2 trillion.
The Trinidad and Tobago Organizing Committee has been working assiduously to produce a Carifesta worthy of regional and international acclaim.
I think that Trinidad and Tobago is doing a tremendous job in preparing for the festival. I have been actively involved in planning at least the last 5 Carifestas. For this festival, the level of preparation is ahead of any I've seen so far.
part of this promotion for 2019 is to try to encourage people who would have gone to North America and other places for their summer holidays to come to Carifesta itself, because it's going to be one of the rare opportunities to know another country and to know other countries in one place and at one time.
We promise you'll have a fantastic time.
With love to our beautiful Twin Islands for Carifesta 14.
We feel extremely honored to be representing the red, white and black, and this Carifesta 14 promises to be the most exciting yet.
We are looking forward to share all our culture, all our arts, all our music, our food, and we are excited to experience what the Caribbean has to bring to us as well.
Please come to Carifesta 2019, where we celebrate the arts together.
Yes. Come celebrate with us, yeah? Trinidad and Tobago.
Connect, share, invest.
Carifesta 14, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Sandra Mirage, and this is News Now on TTT. Staff at the judiciary are planning a fourth day of protest to highlight their concerns over a possible loss of jobs. PSA President Watson Duke remained convinced that once the restructure of the judiciary took effect on September 1st this year, workers would be rendered jobless. This despite assurances from both the Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi and the judiciary that the process would not exclude existing workers but rather seek to absorb them into the new system. Mr. Duke maintained his position that government was infringing on the independence of the judiciary.
You see these workers here? They want to put these workers on contract. And the maximum they're giving them is 5 years. Why 5 years? Why 5 years to coincide with the term of a government? Because they want to use them to achieve their ends.
At the helm of the changes is a goal to transform the judicial system into one that operates with efficiency. But Mr. Duke was of the view that the backlog of cases plaguing the system was no fault of the administrative staff. The National Union of Government and Federated Workers says it has saved jobs of daily rated workers at the Diego Martin Regional Corporation. On Friday, a group of workers protested outside the head office of the regional corporation over a reduction in the amount of days they are rostered to work. President General of the NUGFW, James Lambert, says the reduction in work is caused by an estimated shortfall of $5 million in budgetary allocation to the regional corporation. He says rather than send workers home altogether, the union agreed to cut down the amount of days.
In 2016, the people who were hired or recruited in 2016 is 82 of them, and they will be working 5 days per fortnight. 5 on, 5 off. The 187 that was recruited in 2017, they will be offered 5 days per month until such time for the new fiscal year that begins in September.
President Paula May Weeks says Trinidad and Tobago has made considerable progress when it comes to the treatment and acceptance of persons living with disabilities. As she spoke on the final day of the UN Down Syndrome Day conference at the Magdalena Grand in Tobago on Monday, President Paula May Weeks said society must be alert to spot the inequalities and inequities, obvious or subtle, that exist in the treatment of persons with Down syndrome.
Yes, we have made considerable progress since the days when people would uncharitably and thoughtlessly refer to those with Down syndrome in derogatory terms. Perhaps not out of malice, but out of sheer ignorance and more than a dash of insensitivity. Into that void stepped the Down Syndrome Family Network, with its mission to be the national advocate for the value, acceptance, and inclusion of people with Down syndrome.
In sport, disappointed best describes the reaction of Dave Cameron after he lost his post as president of Cricket West Indies. He sounded supremely confident before the vote, but after felt others who gave him their word let him down badly. And that was News Now on TTT. I'm Sandra Mirage. Have a good morning.
Receive a free Kindle Fire 7 HD with Alexa features when you purchase the highly effective JJ and Friends SEA Tab Suite. Designed for students in standards 3 to 5, the SEA Tab provides interactive learning for success, digital tools for a digital generation, and has over 50 bonus apps that relate to the Ministry of Education's SEA syllabus. The SEA Suite comes with a free Amazon Kindle Fire 7 tablet along with workbooks, charts, and checklists designed to successfully prepare your child for the SEA exam.
All of my experience in education, which totals up to almost 50 years, I've never seen anything that changed the landscape the way this has. It makes the learning, I think, more accessible to the students.
When they have a tablet in their hands,
they become so much more engaged. It's the new pencil, it's the new paper, it's the new book.
It's education everywhere at all times.
It's totally different than the classroom that we grew up in. It's the future.
Call now 374-SEA2. That's 374-7322 or 7464-SEA. That's 746-4732. Stocks are limited. Call now.
It's exciting. It's multifunctional. It's the JJ and Friends Interactive SEA Suite. This educational suite comprises an Android tablet preloaded with apps. You also get workbooks, checklists, charts that will successfully prepare your child for the SEA exam. These subjects covered: mathematics, comprehension and creative writing, all designed according to the Ministry of Education school syllabus.
My daughter, she could not read so well. Pronunciation and phonics was a serious challenge for her. By purchasing the program, it helped her immensely. When she was doing the SEA, her grades was, grades were going up. And the teacher wanted to know what happened. But I know the secret behind it. And she's working on her own, everything. Very good. I'm encouraging anybody. Even at my workplace, I tell everybody to come and, be a part of the program. She was successful in the SEA. Passed for her first choice. And as she passed for her first choice, her first term in the exam, in her term exam, she came 13 out of 39. And her second term exam, she placed first out of 39. And this was a vast improvement for her, right? So I'm encouraging all parents to make a wise investment into their child's future.
Technology to strengthen and support your child's learning. Fingertip access for academic success, covering the school curriculum. The SEA Suite. Touch, teach, test.
What makes this program so special?
It caters to all different intelligences of students.
Okay.
From the students who don't like to write to the students who cannot write. It caters to everyone. It's visual. A lot of our students are visual learners. It's very visual. It's interactive. There are samples for them to follow. There are checklists. There are rubrics. Everything that a student would need to learn.
How does this program help our teachers?
Well, I would say it helps them greatly because contact hours between a student and teachers is limited in the classroom. You have to take other factors into consideration, disciplining issues, emergencies that come up, things like that go on in the classroom. And that takes away from teaching time as well. A teacher may be very competent. When you look at the reality of the situation, the day is very short.
Yes.
So this program provides a classroom away from their classroom. But I would say in a more comfortable environment. You are at home. You can probably take a snack, recline on your sofa, relax. It's a more friendly atmosphere.
Good.
So it assists the teacher in these core elements of creative writing.
Receive a free Kindle Fire 7 HD with Alexa features when you purchase the highly effective JJ and Friends SEA Tab Suite. Designed for students in standards 3 to 5, the SEA Tab provides interactive learning for success, digital tools for a digital generation, and has over 50 bonus apps that relate to the Ministry of Education's SEA syllabus. The SEA Suite comes with a free Amazon Kindle Fire 7 tablet along with workbooks, charts, and checklists designed to successfully prepare your child for the SEA exam.
All of my experience in education, which totals up to almost 50 years, I've never seen anything that changed the landscape the way this has. It makes the learning, I think, more accessible to the students.
When they have a tablet in their hands,
They become so much more engaged. It's the new pencil, it's the new paper, it's the new book.
it's education everywhere at all times.
It's totally different than the classroom that we grew up in. It's the future.
Call now 374-SEA2. That's 374-7322 or 7464-SEA.